Okay, hi everybody. This will be another video for the double exponential smoothing or the Holt Winters. So now, Holt Winters. This is not Holt Winters. This is for Holt linear trend model, which is also known as the double exponential smoothing. So we'll begin to illustrate here then how to calculate this one in a step-by-step manner, and be very careful with this because this is a long process. This is not like with a simple exponential that it was simple, but in here it is very much a simple as well. And you have to take note that once you're already wrong in the first place, then in the latter part it will be wrong automatically, because you will not be going to answer in the latter part if your answer is in the first phase, if it is incorrect already. So it must be a step-by-step process. So if you will be wrong in the first step, um in the next step up until the end, it will be wrong automatically. So here then we'll begin to calculate, as being mentioned here then, that this will be the initialization method. And we are having the alpha parameter as well as the beta is set into 0.6 and 0.4. And what we'll begin to do right now, we'll begin to set the alpha, since we do have the data set here, and we'll begin to um forecast Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that will be the date, the thing that we'll begin to forecast in the future. So we'll begin to use this data that we do have right now, and in order for us to achieve the data sets. So we have here the formula for the level, and this here then, and this is for the trend. So for the level, we'll begin to deal with that first, since for the level of Monday, we need to smooth out the data first. So for the level of Monday, since as being mentioned that that is equals to the y1, and your data right now is set to 250. That means to say your data is your level of Monday is still 250. So that is automatic as the same thing, because that is being mentioned that L1 is equals to y1. And your trend for the Monday, we have to get the trend of the Monday. As being mentioned, for the trend of the Monday will be y2 minus y1. Your y2 right now is 400, and your y1 is 250. So you will be going to deduct that one 400 minus 250. Okay, 400 minus 250, that equates to 150. That's how you will deal with this calculation for the trend and level. So you were able to have here already the calculation for the level and trend for the Monday. What you will have to do, you have to smooth out the data already for the level of the Tuesday, which will begin to use the formula here then. So your data right now, then you already do have the data set, the data for alpha, which is 0.6, and then times into the data. What is the data of Tuesday? That is 400. I'm sorry. What do you call this one? What happened to my stylus is actually getting delayed. Let me actually charge it for a moment, because I don't want it to have a problem here then. So let me just go ahead and um continue. Plus 1 minus a. Okay, it is so much delay. I don't know what is going on with my um okay, that works. Okay. Then afterwards, your formula is level t minus 1, that is level t minus 1 and plus t minus 1. So your level minus 1, that is the level of Monday because we are already in Tuesday right now. That is the previous level and the previous trend. So um your level for the previous will be 250. Sorry then. Okay, 250. Then your trend right now is 150. Okay, 0.6 times 400. That is 240. Plus 0.6 is 0.4. 250 plus 150, that equates to 400. Okay, so 240, 0.4 times 400, that is 160. And 240 plus 160, that equates to 400. So that means to say your level of Tuesday is 400 right now. So the same thing with your data that you have. Then your Tuesday trend given with a formula that that your beta right now is 0.4. 0.4 then times into the level trend and then minus level trend minus 1 plus 1 minus beta then times the trend t minus 1. Now for the level of trend, which is the current level, since that is LT, so that is 400 minus the previous level, which is the previous level of Monday is 250. Because right now, the LT, that is current level. The current level of Tuesday is 400. Then the previous level, LT minus 1, that is 250. And then afterwards, plus 1 minus beta. And then after that one, the trend minus 1, the trend is, the previous trend is 150, which is the trend of Monday. So you have to calculate that one basically. So I'm so sorry, that went off. Let me just fix it for a moment. Okay. Okay, then what will happen right now? 400 minus 250, that equates to 150. Then 0.6, 150. 0.4 plus times 150, that is 60. 60 as well here. So that will become 120. So that means to say the trend right now is 120. So what you'll be going to do, you'll proceed to the level of Wednesday. So given that your alpha is 0.6 and your x of t, what is the x of t? X of t of Wednesday is 560. Then and LT minus 1, what is the previous level? That is 400 plus previous trend, which is 120. So 0.6 times 560, that is 336. Plus 0.4 times 400 plus 120, that is 520. Okay, 336 plus 0.4 times 520, that is 208. So calculating 208 plus 336, that will equate to 544. So your level right now is 544. And for the trend, of Wednesday, that will become the beta. The beta is 0.4. Then the current level, which is 544. 544 minus the previous level. The previous level is 400. And then plus 1 minus beta. And then times the previous trend. What is the previous trend? That is 120. Okay, so calculating that one, 544 minus 400, that is 144. Plus 0.6 times 120. And then 0.4 times 144 is equals to 57.6 plus 0.6 times 120, 0.6 times 120, that equates to 72. So 72 plus 57.6, that will become 129.6. So this will be the trend for the Wednesday. So that is how actually you will get the trend and level. Now let's actually proceed to the Thursday level, which will be your alpha being set is 0.6 times the data of Thursday. What is the data set of Thursday? That is 640. So 640. And then plus 1 minus the smoothing parameter is 0.6. And then the previous level, which is 544. Then plus previous trend. What? No. Yeah, that's correct. The previous level is 544. And the previous trend is 129.6. Okay, let me. All right, that's correct. Now 0.6 times 640, that will equate to 384. Plus 0.6, I don't know, 4. Times 544 plus 129.6, that will become 673.6 times 0.4. And that will become 269.44 plus 384. It equates to 654. I don't know, 653 only. 0.44. So this is the level of Thursday, and we'll proceed to the trend of Thursday. So the trend of Thursday, we are having the beta at 0.4 times the current level, which is the 653.44. Then deduct that into the previous level. The previous level is 544. And then times that, plus the parameter 1 minus 0.4. And then previous trend, which is 129.6. Okay, 0.4 So 653.44 plus minus 544, that will become 109. Point 44. Then plus 0.6, 129.6. So 0.4 times 109.44, that will become 43.78 plus 0.6 times 129.6, that is 77.76. And plus 43.78, it will become 121.54. And this will be the level at the trend of Thursday already. So you were able to have the trend already of Thursday, and lastly, you will begin to get the level of Friday already. Now, for getting the level of Friday, since your parameter earlier is 0.6 times into the data set of Friday, the data set of Friday is 720. That's how you will do it. Then plus the smoothing parameter. And then times the previous level, that is 653.44 plus the previous trend, 121.54. Okay, so calculating that one will equate to 0.6 times 720 is equals to 432 plus 0.4 times 653.44 plus 121.54, that equates to 774.98. And that will become 0.4 times 774.98. It equates to 309 point, since 99, yeah, 99. So plus 432, that will become 741.99. Okay, that is the level of Friday. Then your trend for Friday is your beta, which is 0.4 times the current level, which is 741.99, minus to the previous level. The previous level that you do have in Thursday is 653.44. And then plus the beta. Then the previous trend, which will be 121.54. 121.54. That is your previous trend. So calculating that one, 741.99 minus 653.44, that will equate to, I'm sorry, the class, it went up. So I'll be going to, run out. So I'll be going to restart my tools. Okay, so calculating that 741 minus that will become 88.55. Then plus 0.6 121.54. 0.4 times 88.55 will become 35.42 plus 0.6 times 121.54, that will equate to 72.93. And then plus 35.42 plus 72.93 equals 108.35. So this will be the trend of Friday. So since we're done with smoothing out the data, this is the results for each implementation. Since our goal is to forecast the another week, day. So we will begin to forecast already. Forecasting to Saturday. So for forecasting Saturday with the current level that is 741, this is the updated level, that is the tools, or that is the number that you will be going to use with in calculating the forecast in the future. So since Friday is the first year that you are forecasting, so that your age right now is 1. Then times into the trend, which is 108. I'm sorry. My stylus is not giving. So 108.35. Okay, that's how you will deal with that. So calculating this right now, just distributing. Do it step by step, then still 108.35. So add them, 741.99 plus 108.35. That will equate to 850.34. And then for Sunday, since your age or earlier for the Saturday, that is one day, since that is for the first day. Second day, forecast the data, you will use the same data, the current data for the Friday. So your age will become 2, then 108 here, 0.35. So what will happen? Copy as is, and calculating 2 times 108.35 will equate to 216.7. So adding them, 741.99 will equate to 958.69. So this is the data for Sunday. And for Monday, forecast the data for Monday, that is the third day that you're forecasting. So it will become 3 here for your age, and then 108.35, the same data, and copy as is, and calculating 3 times 108.35, that is a 325.05. So by calculating that one, 741.99, so 1,067.04. This is the data, forecasted data for Monday. And for Tuesday, this will become 741.99 plus and 108.35. So from 741.99, that is 4 times 108.35. So 433.4. So calculating that one, 741.99. So it will equates to 1,175. 175.39. So this is the forecasted data. Since we'll begin to forecast up until Wednesday, so we'll begin to forecast the last day. The last day will become 5 for day H. 0.99 plus 5, 108.35. It will become 741.99 here plus 108.35 times 5. That equates to 541.75 plus 741.99 and 1,083.74. So this is how you will calculate the double exponential smoothing here done, or the Holt linear trend model. If you will be going to graph it class, it is actually linear. However, I will not be going to illustrate that here on how to do it in graph in a graph illustration. Thank you so much for the thank you for the for tuning in, and I'll begin to illustrate another video in the separate video.